Welcome back. The White House is facing new questions about President Trump's relationship with convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. Documents released by the House Oversight Committee mention the president by name. That includes one that says, quote, he knew about the girls as he asked Ghislaine to stop. Trump continues to deny any wrongdoing. In fact, he posted a response on his social media. He said, quote, the Democrats are using the Jeffrey Epstein hoax to try and deflect from their massive failures, in particular, their most recent one, the shutdown. But it's actually Republicans who are now calling for transparency on the issue. House Speaker Mike Johnson says he plans to hold a vote on releasing the Epstein files next week.
DOJ provision, will that be next week?
Yes, as soon as possible. It'll be on the suspension calendar, and I think it'll pass overwhelmingly. Yeah.
And do you plan to encourage Senate Republicans to support this? I mean, how can you ensure that it will pass?
Yeah, no, I will. I mean, I was as surprised by the inclusion of that language as anyone. I had no prior notice of it at all. I was frustrated, as my colleagues are over here, and I thought it was untimely and inappropriate. So we'll be requesting, strongly urging our Senate colleagues to repeal that. I mean, to help us repeal it. I think that American people will agree with that.
CBS News White House reporter Olivia Rinaldi joins me now for much more on this. We know the White House press secretary, she disputes what the Epstein emails actually mean. How is the Trump administration spinning this?
Well, Mugo, Caroline Leavitt, the White House press secretary, said yesterday that the revelation of these emails from House Democrats actually proved that the president had done nothing wrong when it comes to Jeffrey Epstein, saying that he had done everything right by kicking him out of his Mar-a-Lago club when he found out about the allegations with young women. And because of that, the president distanced himself from Jeffrey Epstein, someone who he once called a friend. But of course, this continues to just be a thorn in the side of this administration as they look to kind of turn the focus to some of the president's accomplishments, saying that this continues to hang over and distract from them. That's what the White House has been calling this, is mainly just a distraction.
And it seems, Olivia, that some Republican lawmakers, they also want to see the Epstein files released in their entirety. Does the White House have anything to say about that? How are they handling that? Because it seems for the most part, they seem to have support from Republican lawmakers. Things seem to be shifting right now.
Well, certainly there is a small group of female Republican congresswomen who are part of this discharge petition, I should say, that is happening on Capitol Hill in the House. Essentially, if they needed a majority of the House to sign on to it, they could release some of the documents related to what is going on with the Epstein saga, revealing perhaps more information, perhaps damaging information to President Trump. So there was an effort to block this. They now reached 218 yesterday with the swearing in of a Democratic congresswoman, but there was an effort to pressure those female Republican congresswomen to take their name off of that petition prior to that. We know that Lauren Boebert, who's a congresswoman from Colorado, had a meeting with Kash Patel, the director of the FBI, and Pam Bondi, the attorney general for the U.S. And during those conversations, they were talking specifically about this discharge position. There was also a conversation had with Nancy Mace, a Republican congresswoman from South Carolina, about this as well, playing phone tag with members of the administration, asking her to remove her name. So certainly a pressure campaign there, but yeah. Mugo, it doesn't quite matter because they still got to 218, and so there's likely to be a vote on this sometime next week to reveal this information. However, it would still have to go to the Senate, which is in Republican control, and be signed by President Trump, and there's absolutely no indication at this moment that he plans to sign this. So perhaps all of that effort to stop this might just be moot anyways, but certainly telling that there was an effort to not get enough, or to not get 218 signatures in order to get this released. So
yeah, it seems like they
a lot going on this saga. Yes, certainly some effort there to try to perhaps stop this from being revealed.
But then interesting, too, that you mentioned it has to go to the Senate, which it likely won't pass there, and then has to go to the president for the president to sign it, and that's probably not going to happen either. Thank you for breaking that down.
It's moot anyways. Yes.
Yeah. Olivia Rinaldi, thank you so much.